Hey yo, peep this.
Yeah. This is how we like to do it.
God's gift from above the skies.
No lie.
Tune into the buzz while you get high.
The hitter.
Spread some wisdom.
So you can relate on topics of every kind to elevate your mind.
Listen, Mary Jane is not a drug. There's so much love in every nug.
New strains, they'll be the judge and see what it does. It's between the buds.
Watch this.
Welcome back.
Yo,
It's between the buds.
Yo, what's up? It's your co-host. We're back again. We're actually back again at
Awsom
Studios.
Studios.
Shout out to them.
Pew, pew, pew.
And back again, fresh from the road. I just want to take a moment. Shout out to
his Eagles.
My Eagles.
Eagles
Fly.
They did their thing,
No disrespect.
RIP to the Bengals this evening, but
I love my Ohioans, but go Birds, fly Eagles. Fly.
hey, but at least we can still give it to Ohio State. You know, they had their W this week.
Absolutely.
They came
Absolutely.
back. They came back for sure.
He said, "Fly, Eagles, fly."
All right. Let's get to it.
He said that shit was about to be cooking him in the studio.
For sure.
It's gonna get
Let's
hot.
do it. Well, we want to welcome in another wonderful guest. We got our guest Thomas. Thomas.
Welcome, Thomas.
I don't know your last name, but I'm gonna let you do the rest of the
Let's learn it.
introduction.
Let's learn it.
It's cool.
I go by the name of Joe Derrick, and we got who?
Weed Jones.
Who?
Weed Jones.
And along with Thomas.
And
Thomas,
it's
tell the world
something
who
you can shape his last name.
I'm Thomas Little-Claytor.
There you go. Okay, Little-Claytor.
I
You said
know.
Little-Claytor.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Hyphenated name. Thank you, parents.
There you go. It's all good. Shout out to their parents. We all wouldn't be here without them.
Yes, indeed.
Well, welcome, Thomas. Happy to have you on, and we're happy to hear your story and share the story to the world, and all of our listeners, whomever is tuning in. So
Yeah.
we like to start by asking questions about yourself, and then just keep the ball rolling. So
Right, just to break the ice a little bit.
For sure.
Help the world get to know you a little bit better.
yeah, but in your own words, how would you say cannabis has helped you medicinally?
Yeah, I practically always say it saved my life. It got me off half of the medicine I was prescribed. Got me off all my painkillers. Got me off all my benzos. It's what I used to treat my migraines. What I used to treat chronic pain. But yeah, it's been a big impact in my life, and going forward, it's probably going to continue being a big impact in my life.
That's probably only part of the list too, huh?
Oh
Yeah,
yes.
and I was gonna say, can you elaborate a little bit on those lists of medicines you named? Because some people might not know. I mean, if you don't know, you don't. But just a little bit, like, are those in the opioids, or like what category does that fall, or even side effects? Would you say?
Oh shoot.
Because I feel like it messes with your quality of life.
Oh.
If I could be wrong, but correct me as well.
Oh no, for sure. I was practically bedridden 5 years ago.
Oh wow.
So yeah, chronic Lyme's a bitch. For sure. But yeah, I went 10 years undiagnosed. Finally got diagnosed in college. Had to drop out of college for that. But all those medicines, I was on gabapentin. I was on a big dose of that. I was on 3 600s 3 times a day. It's a dose for like almost 250-pound person.
Jeez.
And I was a $120 then.
Dang.
I was on T4s, which are Tylenol with codeine.
Yep.
So,
Level 4.
yep, nice little opiate right there.
Wow.
I was on temazepam for sleep. Luckily, that's a lighter benzodiazepine, so I wasn't on no Xanax or anything. But that was for sleep and to help calm me down. I was on hydroxyzine for the same effects.
Okay.
Wow.
SSRIs.
See.
The off-label use for the SSRIs is for neuropathy, the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
as gabapentin.
Yep.
So everything was just to combat my chronic pain
Yeah.
I had. as well as to help treat the migraines. I've done injections for the migraines. I take pills. I have this new nose spray.
Jeez.
All of it.
Help with
But,
like not sinal, but nasal and sinus.
So no, it's actually a new medicine on the market that
To go
works.
straight to the
It
brain.
goes straight to the brain, and that way it goes right to the mucous membranes.
In picture pro.
Hey,
promo.
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
But nah, it's
Okay, that's that
That
makes
is
a lot of
deep,
sense.
and you know, it's crazy because you named all those medicines. I know how there is what do you call it, HIPAA.
Yeah.
But in some aspects, I think because I don't know if you've seen the same doctor to get all that, or if you've seen different ones. But in some aspects, I think doctors should more communicate more like about what they're prescribing, because I feel like they give people because they give people just a cocktail of chemistry, and then people's bodies are just like all over the place. And you're like, like you gave me this, I tried this, and they're just like, oh, this happened. Just experimenting in so many ways, and I don't know, like it's just kind of like it could be. I feel like I wish communicated or organized a little bit better for the patients, instead of just being like, here, take this. Oh, and then I'm gonna give you this, and it's like, yo, you just named like 9 almost different substances. Like, it's like what the
all interact in the body.
All
Right.
interacting.
And my biggest thing I always say is doctors who are out of their depth sometimes don't want to admit it, but always go to a higher level of care,
Yeah.
because those are the people that are actually know what is wrong. But I think a lot of people get stuck in the lower levels of care,
And
That's
they'll go
true.
to what they know.
and the doctor just doesn't know or is trained in the basics,
Right.
which is what they're supposed to do, is treat the most people.
right.
But you need a specific quality of care.
Yeah,
And I think that's where higher medicine, or even where people go to holistic things, is that's because they're trying to get a personalized medicine.
correct.
And I think that's the big thing that's missed. But I've had doctors experiment, basically. I had doctors out of their depth. That's how I got serotonin syndrome. Because they're just like, you give you 3 medicines to try, all of them interact with each other.
Yep.
And then they don't know how it's going to react with you till you do it.
Till it happens.
And then that's why I'm like, they're like you're like their little guinea pig, and it's like obviously they want to help you, but then again it's like, yo, like it's not fair to me to just be like, here, I'm doing this, and then I'm your little experiment. Like I'd rather, like you said, have a quality, specific or quality, like care. Somebody that's more like what do you call it?
Pays like attention to your specific.
Yeah, a specialized doctor in my area of need, like, or condition. So I feel like that. I mean, they're doing that. They do have, like, for like myself and sickle cell, they have hematologists or the oncology area, but it's still in some areas, in some like hospitals, it's under the cancer centers, and it's just like, yo, like what, like
It's gonna lump us in together.
yeah, it's just nuts how it's all like kind of just, like you said, lumped together. But
They're like, this saves time, so let's put these 2 things together.
and you find out that like I mean, I'm from, in certain states, like in Georgia, and I forget a few other like southern states, they have like specific specialized hospitals for sickle cell patients and people, and it's like, damn, we need more of that everywhere. Not just like
foundations.
or
Foundations or certain areas, sadly, that probably are mostly primarily black.
Yeah, but exactly, and that's what the hospitals are in a black, most predominantly black areas. So, shout out, but at the same time,
At the same time, it's
we
a struggle to go through.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Like, everything you just named too. Like, people need to hear it. Like, it's not like, oh, you were saying it for fun. That's a lot of, that's not a high quality life to live through when you're getting all these medicines and you're just trying to figure out, like, damn, why is my body acting this way? Or
we
like,
got 3 people at this table that all have chronic illnesses, and I'm sure we can all 3 say that we've had to change doctors probably multiple times based off of that, trying to find that quality of care.
Easily.
Easily.
100%. So just even being kept in the hospital, it's like I've had to
It's like, okay, can I talk to this person instead of instead of this person? Like,
like, why is that nurse taking better care of me than my doctor?
Or I even had nurses that weren't necessarily aware on how to properly take care of me. They just, come in, give me my medicine, leave. No, like with anybody, you should communicate with them. And like let them know what's going on.
Like, 4 a.m. and you
got to smash it. You can take it. You got to sleep and you like that.
But even then, they come in, they want to draw blood or something, because that's happening a lot. But it just sucks.
Feeling bad, but you like, all right, we gotta do this.
Yeah, it just sucks when you gotta like deal with someone like when you got a hidden condition no one sees.
Yep.
So and then you know how to necessarily handle it, or what's preferred or what might be better, or even what can help you feel better, and you try to advise it, and they're like, no, we going by this, or this is the traditional way, and it's like, no, sometimes it's not always a traditional way to treat everybody.
You gotta give them that final word sometimes, like, nope, this is actually what I want to take.
Or this is what should work. I've had it happen numerous times where I've suggested something, or hey, you guys should try this, or give me this. And we're gonna do this, and they do the opposite. Then it goes. It take I end up 3 or 4 days later in the hospital. And they're like, oh, we're gonna give you this, and then I'm like,
that's what I want in the first place.
Exactly. Like, you just hear me out, and I can we can work together.
For myself, but another thing they do is for insurance reasons, you have to try all these medicines before you can unlock the final medicine.
True.
And it's like, can I just jump?
Because they want to give you the base level before they take you up to like the highest package type of deal.
Yeah, literally.
That's crazy. That's true too. Like the healthcare, the insurance side is even a whole nother aspect, and they know how to. Like, as soon as you get in there, you could be unless you can't talk or losing a limb or something. They gonna make sure they come to you like,
you can pay.
Sir, what's your pay? How are you getting treatment or paying for your treatment basically? You can literally have one eye open and they make sure that
they're like, you can sign here. I'll help you move.
I'll help you draw in cursive.
Here, take my hand.
Here, you can just put your thumb and your fingerprints, that's all we need. They go ahead, but
just shake your head yes, and I'll check the box.
Or visual confirmation.
Was that a yes? Oh, sir.
That is, man. There be sometimes when you go to the EDR, and I'll be telling them like, listen, I can't talk to y'all till I get some pain medicine. I was so much pain. Like, I'll answer all your questions.
I spent Christmas Eve in the ER. Literally for pain.
Yeah.
Migraine that won't go away. 5 days in. Did a steroid run. Didn't touch it. Oh, yep. Doing
you
that.
probably had that too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then, not to mention the other drugs, so who knows what was happening. Mm-hmm. But they give you a cocktail of drugs, doesn't work. Yep. Can't get a nurse because it's Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, okay, I hate this system. What can we do?
Yeah. How can we improve on this?
No, it's a lot of things, and it's not trying to I know there's a lot of people out there that work hard and they're doing the best they can. So shout out to the
shout out to the nurses, because they are the ones who saved our lives and keep our lives going.
Which kind of adds to it. Like sometimes they're overworked.
But shoot, they're all I hear is they're overworked.
There's not enough of them sometimes. But what's crazy is it's just the communication side. I feel like they could be so overworked that they're just in a rush. And they on a system to I gotta, this next patient needs this, and you just make it simplified, almost like retail in a sense.
Yeah.
It's like, oh wait, let me hurry up and
get you in and out in an okay manner.
Yeah. It's like, what was your call for? Okay. With boom, 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 cool. All right, I gotta go do this.
I have 47 others I have to do. I'm alone on my night run.
Right. I remember I had a PCA, and, not even gonna, just, all I wanna say is, the person was so such a salesperson on the medical side. They were like, hey, I'm gonna do this, and it's like, and then you're not gonna be bothered with me. I'm like, okay, Do I got a choice? It sounds like you already made your mind up anyway. Like that's your plan of treating me. Like,
he said
like
you don't want to call me, I don't want to show up. So.
I was like, I ain't never been.
So we gonna handle this transaction, and hopefully we don't gotta see each other again.
For real,
So the next nurse come on.
That's exactly how it was. I'm like, well, damn. All right, noted. This person don't like really tending to, especially maybe just me, or I don't know. It was just a lesson learned. Like everybody got different work styles.
And I think you see that in our industry.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
And
Everybody got different work styles.
Yeah, and in our industry, I think we also have in the cannabis industry.
Yeah.
I think you also have the people who are more retail versus the ones who want to act like it's medicine.
Correct, or wellness. And
wellness.
Yeah. No, it's just like, I think that's something I'll say it here too. I always express at work, anywhere. Honestly, like, we can't hold it. Like, yes, we're in a new, evolving industry that's being built, but we can't forget that, like, all right, yes, cannabis has its business side, its retail side, all that, but first and foremost, this is medicine and health and wellness, and we're dealing with people's like health cares, like and illnesses. So it's like we can't forget that. You can't just be like, oh, screw that. I'm gonna just give them the shittiest product or quality thing just because I want to make money. It's like it shouldn't be like that. Like it should be. No, I actually really want to put in quality efforts and provide good quality medicine, and the money and all that, like, sure, it'll come, and it has come. Look, Ohio's made over $100 million already.
Look at us.
But at the same time,
but that shouldn't be the main.
Yeah, that shouldn't be the main goal at all. It should be like, changing people's quality of lives, seeing people live and feel better. Just like, I mean, if we are able to have full-time jobs and fully function, operate as a normal adult, like,
that's a benefit. I
feel like it's got to be some type of sign. And then we're able to name, because you named a lot of the medicines. I didn't even have to name any, but I can relate as far as just opioids and
the list goes
Dilaudid, Percocet, all that stuff.
Don't get me started on Percocet.
All that stuff, like instead of just relying on that, this one. Well, I ain't gonna say one plant because it has a lot, but it is this one plant overall, but it has so many gene and phenotypes. Exactly, and genetics that it helps so many walks of life. Like, you can really be like, oh, I want a sativa, something for my mind, indica for my body, or I want both, a hybrid.
Yeah.
So that's so dope, and it's making people. Now, as we mentioned, chemistry, sure, the pills and all that stuff. Like, cannabis has chemistry too. But it's like making people look into like the plant side and the natural side of things, and like honestly, for those who grow
versus
it's like what could you put in instead of me using this? Let me go find something natural that I can put, like some other herb. It ain't even gotta just be cannabis. It can be other herbs.
I've used valerian root for sleep.
Oh, that's see.
I've ashwagandha for calmness and sleep.
Yep.
I've done low doses of lithium.
Okay.
For full body, just to calm your nervous system, because a lot of the time when you're dealing with chronic illnesses, you're in a state of fight or flight.
Yep. All in your body. Yeah.
And that is bad for your whole body. It's one of the worst. That will lead to high blood pressure. All these things because you're dealing with chronic stress.
Correct. Regular heartbeat.
Yep.
Whole type migraines.
And to bring that nervous system down is great to do for those situations. I've done so much others. Turmeric for chronic inflammation.
Big on turmeric.
All of these things can just help you, and that's like your whole body is a chemistry.
And it's all plant-based.
And like you're adding in these other chemicals to help with your original body. Right. And I think people
things
lose that.
It's missing, things that.
Yeah, and I think people lose that when they're like, oh, I need to get an aspirin. Oh, it's like, well, why are you taking the aspirin? It's like, oh, is it your ankle? Okay, it's swollen. Okay, that's why. Versus like, my head hurts and it's pain. It's like, well, okay, maybe there's another route you can go.
Okay.
Icy hot for your ankle. Maybe you can do cannabis for your headache. Maybe you can do whatever there be other natural remedies. I think just getting the pharmaceuticals not out of your life, but controlled in your life.
Man,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes.
So may I ask then, when you mentioned you were on that whole kind of collection of medicines, were you already using cannabis at that time, or would you say it was afterward?
I was using it periodically as I could get it. It was
Okay.
one of those things like where it was street related, or
Okay.
and then who knows the quality you're getting. But picking up, trying to smoke. At that time, I was still in college.
Okay.
So it was carts on the street. Who knows? But yes, I was. It just wasn't enough, and that really changed when I finally got my med card.
That's what I was wondering. Okay.
So I've been smoking since 13, off and on. I would say I started heavily in later high school when I realized, because I've had this illness, they think since elementary school. So I was self-medicating all those years when I was trying to have fun on the streets, we can call it, or whatever you want to say.
Legacy.
The legacy market.
The legacy market. But even turning to other harder drugs.
Or traditional.
Yeah,
But yeah.
traditional, but yeah, even turning to other harder drugs to try to alleviate, then there was no fun in it.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things where I as I've shown cannabis to other people, I've seen that same effect where oh, you're not just high, you're better. And it's
better
like that's what
quality of life.
that's what I was searching for, is to feel better. Finally finding the right doctors is a great way, but finally getting my med card and taking my health into my own hands was probably the main method. At the time, I was so sick that I probably couldn't, and shout out to my whole support system that did.
Hey,
Okay.
Because
shout out to all the support systems out there.
yeah, because
Big shout out.
yeah, you're not alone ever. I've had bad times where you feel very alone.
Yeah.
But I think it's a full journey in life, and finding the right way of getting on the right track is the main goal. And I think that's what all medicine should be used for.
Would you say you were able to kind of slowly wean yourself off of each one of those over time, or?
Yeah, and literally is what I've done. At that time, I was bedridden. I could leave, I couldn't work. Sadly to admit, this is my first full-time job since I've been sick.
I mean,
But that's something to be proud of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean, that's also, it's not a sad thing. It's a great thing because
Yeah.
it shows progress.
It's a blessing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's that's literally why I say cannabis gave me my life back. Because before I was going to nothing.
Yeah.
But I think very much that it just increases taking your health in your own hands, and then finding the means to increase productivity is the main thing. And cannabis is a great way, but there's a lot of other ways to do it, and I don't want to always just harp on the cannabis, but that's the biggest thing for me.
It's like the connector piece.
Yeah, and I think that's for a lot of people, and I've seen that working in the industry. You've seen people be
All different types of
all
stuff.
different types of life, where you're you look like a lawyer, and I know we're not officially HIPAA, but just saying, I've seen anonymous guests where you're
yeah.
hey,
You're like, oh, okay.
I'm glad you're here.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is happy to see you.
Outside of work, I would never expect to see you.
Yeah.
Nah, that's awesome.
And
But that breaks the stigma and also
does.
shows that more people hopefully are starting to get informed, educated. This plant could help me in some way. I think all use is medicinal, but they have their ways of terming it. But
Yeah. Whether you know it or not,
Yeah.
it's medicinal.
Yeah, I just think like you said, it's all about figuring out what works. We naturally produce, and I'm not the butcher this, but chemicals like adenine, anandamide, or I know how to spell it.
I think I know what you're talking about. Adam.
It's the natural chemical for what do you call it? Damn it! Basically you know, the endocannabinoid system and like, you know, what cannabis gives us is like that naturally in our body.
And it binds naturally to the CB1 and CB2.
Yeah, but like,
It's like
cannabis enhances that, so I feel like,
It's like ANIN something.
damn. Why can't I spell it right
I just
now?
can't remember the
Of course.
rules
Trying to put it on the spot.
But this is how we're gonna educate the people.
No, yeah. I want to say, harping on what you said, I've had a doctor that said amazing things where I asked him point blank, like, what would you prefer your patients use, cannabis or alcohol?
How would you?
And they'll tell you blatantly. Man.
You finish your story, but I found it. Anandamide.
It's like an endem.
Oh, I can't. I will butcher that.
I'm gonna
too.
say anandamide.
I have to say names all day.
Because it looked like Amanda combined with, shout out to Amanda Bynes. No, anandamide. That's what I'm gonna say, anandamide. Yeah.
It's like, let's see.
There we go.
Yeah, I'll butcher that so badly.
Yeah,
Basically,
anandamide.
Yeah, it literally has a lot of mental health benefits, and it helps, combine with THC to just make cannabis better. But go ahead with your saying.
No, for sure. What he was saying, and he said, like, honestly, cannabis, but at the same time, he thinks everybody's just self-medicated.
Mm-hmm. True.
Like, when we go to have fun, we're going to have fun for a reason. Whether you go party to get blacked out, you're doing something to feel better.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're all self-medicating. Some people are doing it for pain. Some people are doing it for mental health reasons.
Right.
But I think no matter what substance we use or thrill we seek, it's for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that cannabis is going to be a little bit healthier.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a time and place for both. I believe hops and cannabis are cousin plants.
True.
Right.
So like, they're both very fundamentally the same.
So
some methods. Yeah. Some cannabis methods use alcohol.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right. Yeah.
For
The
extraction.
evergreen.
Yeah.
Or what's it called? What they call it? Everclear.
Yep,
Everclear. Yeah. That's how it's
evergreen. That's that
Yeah.
green dragon tincture.
distilled, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, or even to make like the RSOs, which is, I think, the miracle drug of cannabis.
Yeah, 100%.
But that's the
changed a
beauty
lot of
of it.
people's lives.
Being a plant,
Yeah.
It's versatile.
It
Most
is.
people don't realize that when you say cannabis, I mean, I was just at a bar the other day. I'm like, yo, you cannabis friendly? Oh, I don't smoke. Did I say smoke? I said cannabis.
That's the
Yeah.
cannabis.
Like there's so many forms of cannabis. I'm like, there's lotion you can rub it on your skin. You wouldn't even know.
Yeah, you won't even. Yeah, you don't
Right.
get those psychoactive effects when you rub it on your skin.
Which that leads me to another question. So after having your med card, what would you say is your preferred method of medicating now?
Personally, it's gonna be concentrates.
Okay.
I feel like I always call myself the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz. With my chronic pain, and I needed a little bit of oil.
Yeah.
I need a little bit of oil to loosen up the
it up.
joints.
Yeah.
But being like hypermobile, having loose ligaments, cannabis helps immensely for the pain.
Okay.
It does loosen up. I've been going through lidocaine. I was going through lidocaine patches, icy hot, TENS units. But having the cream, stronger cream, if Ohio will get a little bit stronger cream, that'll be even better.
Yeah, I know the milligrams. Like,
Yeah,
you gotta
yeah.
up the milligrams.
Up
That's
the
a good
milligrams.
testimony because I don't know where they got this Big Brother idea, how like they could be the ones to monitor everybody's limits all at once type of deal. But
Yeah, like I
everybody
understand.
has different tolerance.
Everybody has different tolerances, and like
Everybody's got it. Everybody's going through something. Shout out to Big Sean. Hey, nah. But at the same time, everyone's got a different consumption level. So how are you gonna be like, hey,
and different needs.
different condition requirements, different levels of chronic pains. So you can't just be like, oh, because of we want to control we're gonna actually, limit this to this, and we don't really care about, your levels of pain or what you may need, because they don't even know, the people that's making the rules.
I guarantee they haven't consumed. I won't want to say anything.
Well, no, I mean, maybe some others say. With the 2.83s, I think that's a powder substance. I think the way you measure temps, I think people consume other things. But anyways, also, I think
politicians right there.
Speedy Gonzalez. No, but anyways, also, I will say, think about something like, the words are powerful. Both liquor control and cannabis, or now it was marijuana control, but now it's DCC control. They still control. Like,
cannabis control.
They want to control us, and we voted in. It's regulated like alcohol, but it's actually they regulate it like alcohol, but almost even more.
They regulate alcohol under the prohibition.
Yeah, like
being like, this is the scraps you get.
Yeah, and it's just like I don't know. It's kind of like. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, you need regulations for everything, but I feel like
you end up bad.
Yeah, I just feel like it could be.
It should come from the people.
Yeah, like more people's voices could be heard, and the opportunities the way they're given could be heard. I know some people may, and I'm not making excuses for people that say they can't make it down to the state house, because there's opportunities sometimes. They should be marketing that, and they should also be able to maybe have live or online sessions maybe, or create portals where somebody can take a quick moment.
They don't do that.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong, but I haven't seen.
Because I was gonna say that would make
you can write it. I know you can type it in, but I don't know about recording.
Okay. They don't do like live stream or anything.
No, but I want to say, like, if you've seen most of the patients that were medical, a lot of them won't even. Or
use it, don't know how
to use it, and not in a hateful way, but in a sympathetic way. Like we're helping them through the process.
Even just to get their
med card updated, anything like that. So if we have to do that, how can we expect them to advocate? We hear their complaints. But that's about it.
And then that's why I'd be saying we on the front lines should be able to hear get our voices heard. But a lot of us are too busy working to keep the trenches moving and stuff. So it's like I don't know. It's no excuse, but I'm just saying like it could be better ways.
It shouldn't be a war.
Exactly. Yeah.
It shouldn't be a fight. It should be an acceptance. Mm-hmm. The stigma should be changed. If anything,
especially if the people voted it.
If we voted it, like the people wanted it, as well as the politicians now see the income you could have done.
Correct.
And like they can. I always like to say this. Like when they say, "Oh, we need to send this to the state has access to all the cameras,
to everything,
to everything."
Yep.
So the cool thing is, they know. Oh wow, that first day did amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's falling off a little bit.
Yep.
Maybe it was. What are we doing wrong? Instead of being like, oh, I guess people don't like it.
Yeah.
It's being like, well, no.
Suffocate.
You should see. We don't want to lose sales. Like one word that drives me crazy is the word Michigan now.
What? What did you just say?
Yeah, but Michigan.
Right.
But Michigan.
Take the M out of it. No.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, when you go Michigan again?
Oh yeah. You'll hear it while the Ohio State's playing. They're like, but Michigan prices. It's
wow,
like,
that's so true.
But it's like, how about? Okay, one, we did this for Ohio.
Correct.
True.
The taxes go to Ohio. So on the politician side, why do you want to lose that?
Right.
On our side, we shouldn't be competing with a state that technically it's illegal to cross state lines with.
That's fair.
That's a federal felony.
And it's not worth it anymore if you can
get it at home.
Yeah.
If you can just get it.
So how about we make it more available and easier to get it at?
Yeah, easy, more accessible, but also affordable. Which would lead to that if more people support it. And I'm not saying like, oh, go buy. You have to buy all the expensive stuff. No, like on the other side, they should not be as greedy and realize like, hey, let's meet people in the middle or somewhere. The economy's rough right now. Let's not jack the prices up.
But like, or apply, or as from top down, maybe we'd be like, oh, let's give more licenses out.
That too. Well, let's create more opportunities.
More opportunities
create
for growth.
Opportunities for more revenue
I see.
And growth.
Like we shouldn't. Like Ohio has a thriving black market, which is cool to see. But how about we were like, oh, you're doing amazing work.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, let's shut you down, how about you go get a license?
If your focus is to get rid of it being on the streets, then help it become legal.
Help it become legal, because then you then get those tax dollars. Like, it shouldn't always be about that, but for them it is.
Well, yeah, that's
that an image, and I think the image part is the big one that sadly a lot of our red state wants to keep.
Because they already had multiple programs that they could have, used information from on how to build this one successfully. But instead, I feel like Ohio being Ohio.
No,
they just
like
want to be
said,
different.
They want to be different.
And they just want to be, they just want to be fit.
I do love our quality. Like, I think regulations are very needed, and agree like what you said earlier about that.
Right.
Like, when you go, sadly, to Michigan, it's cool they have the price ranges. Like, I can go get top shelf that costs more than what I pay for here, and it will be, I want to say, for the hash rosin equal, maybe a little bit better, but they also have stuff that will cause me to be sick.
100%. Yeah. And that's the very thin line you gotta be careful.
Gotta be careful of. It's like, well, how low of a quality product can we sell? Shouldn't be a thing a company says.
Yep.
That's what I was talking about earlier. It's like, who would think that? But some companies think that just to make money.
Oh, like we always
Just
joke,
to make
like pre-rolls
money.
are made from floor trim. Like, it's like
Floor trim.
Like let's
They're scooping it.
yeah, just sweeping it up.
This right here is flip.
Yeah. And it's like, how about we do like the high quality? Like, I had a patient before say, oh, I had a pre-roll that was it was labeled as actual bud. So like it was promised that it was bud grounded down.
Right.
How is that a promise?
Yeah.
That should be a given.
Yeah. That should be what it is.
I promise this is Budz.
They said this is not shake.
It wasn't
no
not
stems.
This was not trim. This was
Like, I'm no shame to people who buy shake. No shame to people who buy trim, who are going
grounded. Yeah.
or pre. I've seen patients.
Or pre-ground.
I've seen patients with arthritis who need the pre-ground.
Right. I get that 100%.
So like, and that's why I tell the non-medical, which I shouldn't say recreational.
Yeah.
Adult use.
Adult use.
There you go.
With the legal loopholes.
Right.
But they're looking down at it because in the street days or in the legacy market,
Right.
you're seeing, oh my gosh, that's shake. I don't trust it.
Yeah.
Now, this is tested. This is prepackaged.
Yeah.
This is quality assured.
Yep.
If there is a problem, you can get a hold of someone.
And you know who for the most part.
And you know who did it. You know when it was packaged.
Yeah.
You know all the information. Shout out to Ohio for doing that.
And in a lot of cases, you can be taken care of.
Yeah.
If something's wrong, they can exchange.
They'll
They-
exchange, or they'll give you
Or
their money
they-
back, or you can call the hotline and maybe he'll have to issue a recall. But all these things are for a reason, and having to educate the adult use, being like, no, that's not bad.
Yeah.
It's actually quality.
Right.
It's for a reason.
Right.
And it's cheaper because the stigma of, oh, it's pre-ground.
Right.
Yep.
And then I have people buying it and loving it.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a different of the
Especially
stigma.
depending on what generation they're from, because some of us when we were younger or even older generations, it's like somebody offers you that bag of shake or pre-ground for the lower price, you're like, heck yeah, let me get that. But
Yeah. Oh yeah, you might have loved it, or you might have been burned.
yeah, or you might have been like, dang, this sucked.
I mean,
But
with
you're like, well, we got our money's worth. Like,
with most cannabis consumers, most people they're gonna pay for what they can afford. And I mean, they want their
Quality, they want their high THCs, but most aren't coming in with an open wallet.
Right.
nope.
And like a lot of them are shopping on a budget.
That's why we even have the indigent program.
And that's why the goal though should be everybody. I mean, even whether you're growing it now, that's legal to do it yourself, but also on the industry, legal side, business side, whatever, commercial side, I should say.
Yeah.
It should still be quality medicine for any company because, like I said, it shouldn't just be like, oh, I'm gonna give them this for the cheap.
$5 and I'll make my money back on the papers. Like doing like what restaurants do for drinks, charging you $4 for a drink that costs 15 cents to them. That's great margins.
Oh, it is.
Like,
So let me ask, I'm curious, your guys' perspective. Do you think it should be covered by insurance?
I think there should be tiers. If you're
Based on conditions?
and I don't think insurance should cover it for the general public. I think
Correct.
there should be a difference between people wanting to use it as a substitute to alcohol or for fun,
Right.
or for their recreational purposes, whatever that be, whether it be for writing, for creativity. That's amazing, and I want that.
Right.
But I also don't want to lose sight of the medical side.
Exactly.
And I want to don't lose sight of leave those people behind, because I think people are just so focused on sales. I really just insurance is tricky because it's federal, but I think it should be if you have a high quality, a high condition, whether it be cancer, whether it be your terminal, whether it
completely
be
agree.
there's other extreme ones on Ohio's chart. There's more they should have added, but there is it can go extremely bad. We've seen that in California.
Don't open the floodgates type
Yeah,
of thing.
where you can get a here's a med card for writer's hand cramps.
Yeah.
Because your hand cramps and I can get you this. Yes, I love cannabis for migraines. There's a level to migraines. I've worked through all the medications. I've been through the Botox. I've been through the injections. I've been through all the steps.
Right.
There should be a level being all right, we can't fix it. It's pain management now.
Yep.
Because sadly, I think a lot of people, their illnesses won't be fixed.
No,
Whether it be autoimmune,
Right.
and it's this is with you for the rest of your life. We just need to manage their quality of life.
Because it's gotten to the point now, when you leave, the doctor's office and you get that after visit summary, then it gives you your next visit and that medication, everything you're taking. So now mine will say continue taking cannabis on there because my doctors know. So I'm I feel like
It should be more accepted.
we're kind
my
of going
doctors
they're
loved
shedding
it.
more light on it, but
My doctor's only concern was I have a hormonal doctor because sadly that Lyme affected that.
Yeah.
So I take thyroid medicine, other medicines, and just stuff like that. He is for it for the pain management because he was very against those pills.
okay.
But he also, his idea is to get me off of everything, including cannabis, and then only have to use cannabis recreationally.
Right.
And as a lifetime stoner, that hurts. But at the same time, I agree.
Yeah.
But that's
Because I think if
That's
you have
the
to take
purpose of
any
medicine.
if you have to take any medicine daily for the rest of your life, you're a slave to that medicine. I've been places where I'm oh no, I forgot my medicine.
Yeah.
And having
now
to
your
deal
day is all based around not having that.
Yep, literally being okay, when can I get that back? I know my dad with his high blood pressure.
Right.
Shout out Pops, but
Hey.
the thing is, if he misses it, 3 days are messed up.
Yep.
So it becomes a rolling coaster where okay, I have to live my life around this. And in the early beginning, that's how I did feel about cannabis. And I had my love-hate relationship with it.
Yeah.
Because I needed it so badly that because of the restrictions in life,
Yep.
whether it be I can't go places smelling like weed back then, because this is before
the program.
this is
Yep.
2017.
Yep, so still legacy.
So still legacy program being okay, I can't do this. Even when I had my med card places, what? I'm gonna show them my med card and be no buddy, you smell like weed, you get out of my restaurant.
no.
Or get out of my store. Or parents looking at you weird at the zoo. Things like that. There is a stigma. And then having to live your life around it, the medicine you need, dealing with those parts of your life gets hard.
Yeah.
Shit, I've lost jobs over it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just oh shit. I use this as part of my lifestyle.
So
I don't mean to
flashback
offend you.
Episode
but
5, I think.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh.
I ain't gonna bring you I ain't giving them no more promo, but
Yeah.
I will say-
Yeah.
I will say though that I lost my job over a random drug test, and it was because of a customer complaint in a sense of we didn't have bursts. You sound high. It's how do you? I mean, I guess you can sound high,
Yes,
but
but
it was
at the
8
same
in the
time,
morning.
I'm tired.
You said my voice,
But also,
high pitch.
was that stereotyping? Was that?
Right.
I know a lot of people where it's hey, you look whether black or white,
Right.
you look like a druggie. You look like a stoner.
Yep.
Oh, right.
So I went to high school first day. You got any weed? I'm like, y'all don't even smoke.
Yeah, literally. But
Now I do.
yeah, there you go. But yeah, literally.
He said missed opportunity.
For real. Damn. No, go ahead.
That's
go ahead.
funny.
No, but I think that it's a tool, and it should always be used as a tool.
Yeah.
Agreed.
There are people who want it for their whole lifestyle, and that's just like people who want to smoke for their whole life. Go ahead, you can do it. But that's a conscious choice. But I think promoting it like that is bad.
Like consume it, don't let it consume you.
Yes, for all medicines, including cannabis.
Yep.
We said it, and I'm pretty sure the last episode. No, the episode before. It was Gerald.
the other.
Yeah, the other. No, just management. Like that's a huge key word with any substance. You gotta be able to manage it.
Yeah.
And, don't let it manage you, because if it does, that's when you end up in a different situation.
And I think it's a spiraling cycle that you'll end up in.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
And whether how long that spiral is, it could last for a long time, and you can function through it.
Right.
Yep.
But I also do think like there's been times where it was on another podcast I was listening to.
Yeah.
But someone was said,
Say we can give him a shout out.
nah, it's cool. But they said cannabis helped them. It was a warm fuzzy blanket from their trauma because they were going through a hard time in life.
I got you.
They help them cope.
And it helps you cope, and I think it is. But I think having to rely on, and then she even said I had to give it up. And then coming back to it, it's like, oh, hi, friend.
Yeah.
Right.
And it should be that way.
A warm hug.
Yeah. Even with alcohol, it should be like, this is a conscious choice. I want to do this.
Right.
I accept the consequences for my actions.
Correct.
Yep.
And I think,
My choice.
yeah. And I think that's, shout out to all medicines, all plant medicines.
Mm-hmm.
I think all of them have a place, but I think they have a place and time.
Yep.
Time
Place,
well spent.
purpose, and time.
Speaking of, so I'm gonna do a 2-part question, because do you have terps kind of lead to effects, which a lot of people be like, oh, sativa indica hybrid, but at the same time, terps.
I always like to say there's no such thing.
What is
indica sativa hybrid? It's a scale. It's a sliding scale.
It is a sliding scale.
You'll get one that is so far indica that you can confidently say it's an indica.
Right.
But
nothing's like purely one. Or
nothing. I don't think much anymore. Like it's been bred so much.
I was saying, scientifically speaking, it's like not possible.
No. Like unless you go deep in the woods in India,
Genetics.
deep in the woods in Afghanistan,
I
trying
was
to find some
thinking that too,
OG genetics.
Hey, there's some strain hunters out there. Hey, specifically, shout out to
Find the like hidden oases,
Yeah,
left
but
behind.
at the same time, to keep like that, those are great for exotics.
Yeah.
But there will always be exotics. There's no way you can commercially do that. Because you'll then have to breed for commercial reasons.
Right.
And that's a huge thing to learn behind the scenes in the industry. Being like, the right way to grow personally and commercially are not the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Even though you both want the same end product, amazing flower or amazing bud, the way you grow are different. Because
100%.
yeah.
Quality is
So
less is more, in my opinion. Quality over quantity.
Yeah.
But
would you say then, based with like your specific health condition, are there certain terpenes that you're looking for to help with like?
I think for me, I love indicas leaning things. So like myrcene.
Okay.
I have to give a shout out to lemonine or limonene, whatever you want to say.
Okay. I say lemon.
I was gonna say,
I say lemonine, but I've heard a lot. But it's lemonine, whatever. That citrus one.
Yeah, that citrus shit.
It is gonna be a little.
The myrcene too.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a little sativa leaning, but it gives that flavor better. Because indica's usually dirt. But yeah, myrcene, Lilinol. We got carafilene for pain.
There we go.
That's my favorite.
Humulene is great too. I put ones that don't work for me. Awsomine.
Okay.
Penolol.
Oh, okay. That's like that's sour diesels.
Yeah, it's the speeding.
Yeah.
I can't do that. But my nervous system's already a little
speedy.
Already on overdrive.
So then it's on.
Yeah. So then I just want to calm and relax. And to me, an indica makes me feel normal.
Yeah.
It balances you
It
out.
balances me out.
Yep.
I relate it to someone who has ADHD taking Adderall.
Yeah.
Because apparently when you take Adderall and you're not have ADHD, it's a totally different effect than if you actually do have that condition.
Right.
Yep.
If you do have that condition, it makes you feel normal.
Like the people taking it to study or something
Study?
in college.
Oh, yeah, no.
Versus the people that actually need it to
Shout out those
balance
college
out.
students. That's a grind, I understand.
Right.
But
Completely different
completely
effects.
affects. And like I think that's the same way when you are dealing with a condition versus your general public. And I
Right.
think that's why
Yeah.
the program should be differentialized.
I mean, it almost needs to be specialized.
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 Specialized
And it should
medicine.
Be specialized medicine. Back to the very beginning.
Yeah.
It all should be specialized medicine.
Yeah, we just came up with a whole nother category. Ohio
Right.
special.
That's why I asked that insurance question too, because it's like you gave a really good answer, and it's like that's a little system of framework right there.
Yeah,
you know,
like
we can
hey,
work
all right,
towards.
your SOPs.
Hey, you hired this man.
Hey,
Consultant.
like listen, Ohio,
But, like,
you
yeah.
don't have to do all the work.
Yeah, like
We'll make it
yeah,
easier
like,
for
I understand in a sense how a politician is like, I don't want an eighth. I want a 10th. Because maybe they're on the hot powder.
you. Yeah.
Or maybe they did want to differentialize it from
Differentiate.
the street versus what they want to consider real.
Right.
Yeah.
The size limit shouldn't matter. Someone should be able to buy a gram. Someone should be able to buy 3. I don't.
They should just do the weight system.
Deli steak.
I'm back and forth between the deli style because I think it's not as great products you're getting. It's gonna be open to the air. It's always gonna be, people's noses are gonna be in it.
I get what you
Hands are gonna be in it.
You gotta,
So I think.
don't go full.
So I think, like, I missed it. I was there in the early medical days.
especially
we had the
since
sniff
COVID,
jars.
we can't be doing
We
that.
had the smell jars.
We
Like,
can't
yeah,
be doing that no more.
No, like on the back end, it sucks for the destruction, having to destroy those
Yeah.
smell jars because
After a while, yeah, they get old.
they get old and you have to destroy them. But at the same time, it helps educate the public.
Yep.
Maybe you can find a way around it, but breaking down the rule system, I think, is going to be a great way, or allowing more experimentation.
Yeah.
Like I love at my store's walls. There says there's over 400 cannabinoids in the cannabis plant.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe why
yeah,
can't Ohio sponsor Ohio State to do more research into cannabis?
Education. Yeah.
And they've been doing it for years.
Yeah, like keep
Ohio
it going.
State's been doing it since before the program.
But like allow like I was offered a time to do a testing drive with the State Highway Patrol while high.
Yeah. I think we did. Yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be great to show them that high is different for different people.
Yeah, that's exactly what I showed them. I promise.
I promise you I will do a perfect job. Shout out, I'm not doing it right now. But at the same time, there's others who couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So there should
Yeah.
be a sliding scale. It shouldn't, like, it's not like alcohol where it is going and affecting your brain and shutting things off.
Right.
For other people, it's turning things on.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, if I had a migraine, I would get them so bad I would get auras, I would lose vision,
Do you ever have what's it called? Vertigo?
vertigo, not as bad, but I would get synesthesia.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
loud
Noise.
noises turn to colors,
Yeah.
What?
bright lights turn to noises.
Yeah.
Dang.
It's like a
cross
switch. Yeah, cross of
in
your
the brain.
senses.
Dang.
So like that's how inflamed and
Your head
inflammation
was- dang.
your head is.
Dang.
That's rough.
I guarantee if I was driving and that was happening, which has happened, if I were to smoke, I would be a safer driver on the road.
Like instantly versus.
Versus I've seen it wake people up from what I thought was like I might be calling an ambulance.
Yeah.
So at the same time, I understand the regulations, but it's specialized. It's going to be different for each person.
Yeah.
There's people who come to my store and want 2 milligrams, maybe, and want to be able to split it.
Even 2 milligrams.
Even 2 milligrams. And I'm like, I'm sorry, honey, we don't offer that. But at the same time, to the ones who are like, I come in and I'm like, hey, I need high. what do you have? And it's like, I have 400, but you want to eat 40?
Yep.
Shout out some other companies. You might have to only eat 5 or 6, but maybe you have to eat double that.
Right.
I know places in Michigan that give 1,000. I've done 1,000. There's different levels. Like there's different levels to the game. There's levels to this shit. And I think
don't stop us. There's levels to this shit. We need more specialization.
Yeah, you gotta trust the people to monitor themselves.
We're adults, and I think
there's already enough barriers for us to get into the program. So
let us have a little bit of leeway as a medical. The rec people can buy more weed than I can.
Yeah, that is crazy.
They can buy an ounce a day. I have 45 and 45.
Yeah. They gotta pay the tax for it.
They gotta pay the tax for it. And I could pay the tax for it.
But they still have the ability.
But they still have the ability, and I still have the ability.
Compared to having a medical
as a medical
card.
patient,
Right.
Like sadly, I didn't say I come from Canada, but Canada offers great programs.
Yeah,
There's been times where the government almost pays for your weed. I know I have family friends that have cancer, and it gets delivered by the postman.
The
to
delivery
their door.
system.
Wow.
Yeah, that's another.
And it's not even like DoorDash, sketchy. Like, am I going to get my weed, or is he going to take it? Like,
it's in a nice package.
It's from the government service worker for the postman, and it's there.
Damn, that's clutch. See,
they can also do
that's
shrooms that
normalization.
way, but that's normalization. And sadly they do have other rules where they're very strict on intoxicating driving because it's so normalized. But the thing is, my biggest thing is laws on laws don't make sense. If I'm a bad driver, I'm breaking laws. Does it matter that I was high? Does it matter if, honestly, sadly to say, it doesn't matter if you're drunk. You're breaking the law anyway. So, if you get home safe, if you do nothing wrong, they're like, oh, you got away with it. It's like, or maybe that's you. Not condoning drinking and driving. Not even condoning smoking and driving. I'm saying know yourself. You should know your limit. If it's 1 drink, yeah, you might blow fine for another 3. But if you're fucked up, well, I shouldn't swear. But
no, you're good.
Okay. But if you're messed up, you're messed up.
100%.
You should know your body.
I'm gonna feed off that, then I'll lead it to my next question. But at the same time, well said, because my uncle, he gave me some advice I'll never forget. Shout out to him. And he'll know if he's listening, if he ever listens.
You gotta send it to him.
No, I will, but he'll know about this story because he told me about my nieces. I mean, not my niece, my cousins. It's his daughters, but
so uncle and cousins.
Yeah, uncle and cousins. Shout out to them both. With them all. But anyways, he was like, yo, when my daughters got old enough to drink, I took them to the bar, sat with them, and I watched them drink. And he said I let them drink till they couldn't drink no more. And basically they figured out their limits. And he was like, before they start going out
in a controlled manner. Sadly, I know parents who did that, and they allowed house parties at their own house because they knew they could control the house party at their own house. Which makes sense in a weird way. Shout out to those people. They gave me my childhood. But at the same time, it's smart because you're not raising a child. In their view, they're not raising a child. They're raising an adult. They're raising a soon-to-be adult. And I think there should be a switch
on their own.
And I think that's hard for parents to do. But there should be a switch where in the mind it's like, all right, you're my son. You're my little kid. Okay, you're a teenager. Now I need to show you the ropes for. They always say that the birds and the bees, you need to prepare them for the real world. That they're entering every day. So you can't just wait till they're 18 and be like, okay, here's this. All right. Taxes. All right, what else are we missing?
Here's a car. Here's a license.
Sit next to you and learn. And I think the same way should be for cannabis use. Substances use. Educate the young. I've been places where I'm consuming my medicine and my family is like, you gotta do that somewhere else, or you gotta move away, and then I'm like, or I do that out of generosity and thinking before they say anything,
just to be
just going away, and then the kids come to me, and then I'm like, well, should I move again? Or like the point was given.
Yeah.
And yeah, if they're
And
4,
like,
they won't know what you're doing.
See the difference of generational stigma in a way.
Yes, but what I did to mine, I believe one's 13. Oh my gosh, and 10. I might be butchering their ages.
No, you're good.
But I wanted to say, no, this is my medicine.
Right.
I have the condition. You remember when I was sick?
Yep.
This is the reason why. Yes, you might see other people use it for other reasons.
Yep.
Educate them. It's they say it's classified like alcohol. It's not alcohol.
It's not.
So educate. It's not a party drug, but it can be. It's not medicine for all,
And
but
see,
it
I
can
even
be.
hate calling it a drug. You know what I mean? Because
It's a plant.
it's a natural plant. Yeah, you know.
Or call everything a
But
drug.
most drugs are made out of plants too.
I want to say
from
call everything a drug.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the medicine you're taking is made in a chemistry lab. Yes, it's a drug, but they're doing the chemical formula. THC is the drug you're getting through cannabis, as well as the other cannabinoids, which you're missing, sadly, in concentrates. But they're all drugs. Caffeine, I love them to death. It's the only way I can get a fast intake. I'll be smoking flower for days.
Yeah.
Sadly, the tolerance is a thing that does build.
Yes.
But at the same time,
But
I
you can
believe
also
there's
break it down.
research done to show that the more tolerance you have, it means the less cannabinoid receptors you have in your brain, I believe. And that's because your body's like, oh, there's enough of it.
It's gotten so used to
It's
it.
gotten so used, it's inundated with it.
Yeah.
That it's like, I don't need all these receptors to grab as much as I can. I can rely on these couple to just uptake enough.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. That's also your receptors for pain. So having less makes you in less pain. So a tolerance can also be a good thing. But having to dose for that tolerance can be a hard thing. Edibles are hard for me. I can take 700 and be okay. I will drive an ATV 2 hours later. I'll be fine. I could talk to anyone instantly.
Yeah.
Like I know I can
He let
function.
you
I've
know
done
he's
it.
from Canada.
Right.
1,000 gets me there.
1,000. Hey.
Might be doing something. Might be like being like, oh, that glass looks pretty, but also can snap out of it. And that's the thing I think that builds with time.
Right.
Is as you're a stoner, yes, you can control the high. You can snap in and out. You can vibe with it.
Yeah.
But if something serious happens, I always said that at a house party whenever I threw them in college or whatever.
Say if shit gets active.
If shift gets active, I can snap out of it.
Yeah.
Whether it be because sadly, I don't know if it was my body chemistry. Alcohol made me feel more sick and didn't really get me drunk.
Yeah.
I would have to drink so much to get drunk.
And your
then
body won't allow you
won't allow you to get to the level that I see all my. I'm like, you guys must. I literally would always say that. Like, you guys must be acting.
Damn.
There's no way you guys are like that off that. The same way I've seen people smoke weed for the first time. I'm like, honey, there's no way you're like this.
Right.
Running up and down the
I've seen that.
halls,
I've
what are you
definitely
doing?
It's
It's like, okay, maybe
That's the thing,
maybe
man.
I should have done a full
Everybody's
a workup on
chemistry
you
is
Right.
just.
and see, like, okay, maybe you shouldn't have smoked that sativa. Maybe you shouldn't have smoked that indica.
Right.
It's like everybody's chemistry is just.
But everybody's chemistry is different.
Yeah.
But cannabis, the worst you're gonna do is have a bad time or a good time.
Might get hungry.
Might get
happy,
hungry.
Sleepy.
Might get sleepy.
Maybe
Might
a
get
little
close to the
paranoid.
guy.
You might literally the 7 dwarves. You'll be the 7 dwarves. Pick your 7. And you
You'll go
might be
through
okay.
all 7 doors.
But the more you have a tolerance, the more you build a tolerance to those events. You don't get anxious.
You said
Right.
then you'll go
know-
to sleep and wake up new like
You might still get tired, but you can fight through it.
Correct.
Yeah.
You might get a little paranoid, but you're like, "What? It's the weed. What am I doing?"
Yeah.
But that's like you said, compared to like alcohol. Once you're heavily inebriated, it's hard to come out.
Your
of
brain
that.
cuts off function. You have to literally
With
sober
cannabis,
up.
all it takes is something enough to alert your nervous system, and then, like you said, you can usually snap out.
Yeah, and I literally believe it's like your frontal lobe is getting the cannabis and it's vibing, and then all of a sudden your back part of your brain is like, hey, we need to active now, and you're like, okay.
Right.
But in all, I just think there's a time and place for it,
Yep.
and I think that there needs to be loosen up of constrictions of the program to allow for more use, personalized use. That's really and allow the system to grow. Like, embrace it.
Yep.
Like, be like we're the Buckeye State. Have a weed logo behind it. Cannabis control. Have fun with it. They say it's marketing to kids. Look at
what they have now.
Look at that. These are they're great, but at the same time, they're for 21-year-olds.
Right.
Yep. You got teenagers using
There's
it more than
teenagers using
adults.
this, but at the same time, look at the alcohol.
The alcohol industry.
My dad works at Budweiser.
Yeah.
Shout out to my pops.
Yeah.
He gets a keg a month.
Yeah.
Amazing. But at the same time, they used to be allowed to drink on the go.
What if you gotta pound them up?
I know. I'll squish this down.
Or you get like whatever, or like you
You get the pre-rolls
more
with the
beer.
expression.
like if you want to concentrate, you get like an ounce or something. Like,
Yeah.
whatever you want it, you're
Hey,
sure.
if some cultivators want to send us some special batches for $1 for the employees, that'd be great. I know they used to do that. I don't know if that's allowed anymore. But
So
another
help
thing
your
is
frontline people out.
help the frontline
Right.
people, because one, if we're on our med card, we have to then use our days to try your product.
Yep.
That might not be our medicine. So
Wait.
now we're experimenting using our days.
with money and days, and actually that leads me. We should allow, well, the program should allow samples.
Samples to the.
Oh my
industry.
god.
That's the biggest thing, because how can I recommend or help you if I honestly have never taken that product?
It's major. Even if you gotta purchase it, like just
I
make
can.
it every small packaging
Affordable, yeah.
for
samples.
affordable. Yeah.
Shout out to some companies. I know they do like those test packs. They're $6 or whatever. They should be less, but it's gonna be just a couple for that to try it out. For the med program, it sucks because it used a full day. Come on, cannabis control.
Yep.
Right.
How can you experiment if you're using days that are technically precious?
Yep.
Because those are your medicine prescriptions, and then if you're experimenting, as you should,
As you're trying to find what
as you're
works.
trying to find what works, you should experiment. But you should experiment willingly, and that's the difference between the medical, pharmaceutical programs, is it feels more like an experiment, while the cannabis feels more like a journey.
Exactly, and or more in entrapment. It's like they don't even lock down opioids like the way they lock down cannabis. I was just stopping and thinking, like, man.
Oh, my mom!
got
I know my
guard.
You
my
got
mom
people dying.
My mom can pick up my opiates at a pharmacy for just my birthday.
Yeah.
And as long as
Literally.
she pays.
You got
That's all they
people
care.
dying from being overdosed.
And then there's people overdosing trying to get perks
Do you see-
that aren't
right.
anymore.
You see that happening?
So-
But do you see an armed guard at the pharmacy, at your local pharmacy?
No.
I mean, I'm just, and like, not disrespect to any of the armed
we
guards. Shout out
need
to
them.
But,
Yeah.
Please.
No,
But that's
but I'm just saying they.
But it shouldn't be.
But it's
the
true,
stigma
though,
shouldn't
like-
be there.
like you got a pharmacy in a grocery store.
In a grocery store. Yeah.
There
Some
may be
grocery
a guard
stores.
out the door.
But that's a new occurrence.
Yeah.
For other reasons.
Right.
But that's just
Motherfucker's hungry.
yeah.
Fix the economy.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly.
But it's more normalized.
But,
It's
like, all the-
Inflation's
trying to
real.
say.
Yeah, but literally, inflation's real. Companies are raising their prices. We aren't getting a raise in pay.
Mm-hmm.
Same goes. How can we try your product if we can't do it?
Right.
So how can we recommend to the public? Yeah, if you want to consider us plain retail, then I find that disrespectful.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the amount of knowledge that I believe you should have to work in this industry.
Right.
Yeah, there's not a test. Yeah, I don't even know if you could hire based off that with laws.
Mm-hmm.
But the knowledge you have is valuable. And it helps people. You're not quite a pharmacist, but you're not quite just retail. You're somewhere
Right.
in between.
Like a hybrid.
I want,
speaking
like-
about earlier. It's,
Yeah.
I don't know. We gotta think of a name. It's like you're
It's like
hydrologist.
it's like
No,
dual citizenship almost.
Okay, that's
Like-
not
is.
me. Canada, US.
That's
Yeah,
it.
true.
That's-
Two passports. Let's go.
But yeah,
But that's true. It's such a hybrid job in industry. Like
yeah.
it's still being like figured out. Like, and it's like, yo, like you mentioned earlier, the nurses and the doctors. You know, like the nurses, they all need each other, but nurses help carry the doctors' roles where they don't. So,
Everybody
same for
feels it.
us. It's like
we fill the gaps.
yeah,
Yep.
for
And I
the
think
industry and like
For an industry, and that's the one thing I always like to say to people when I'm checking them out.
shout out
is-
to the bud tenders out there.
Oh yeah, shout out all of us. I know we work hard and we need more pay and we're deal with a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot.
But the big thing is for me is the amount of people who come in for medical needs that don't have their med card.
Yep.
And it's like, oh wow, these aren't just people wanting to just go get high, have a fun time. We do get those in. But I would say the vast majority are like, I want to feel good.
Feel better, yeah.
Yep.
Both
And then it's up to
mentally and
you
physically.
to figure out
And
what.
it's up to us to figure it out.
Do your
And that's
best
our
to guide
job.
them, yeah.
Yep.
And it would be a lot easier, like you said, if you had a chance to like not financially put yourself in debt to try everything without like if they had affordable sample opportunities. But something to feed off too is I know there are some companies that have those little smaller cheaper packs. But the thing that sucks about those is they cost the same amount of labor almost just for the like bigger packs, and they're the same amount of days for one too.
Pack. So
it's just like
it doesn't make sense for the medical market. That's definitely for the recreation.
So at that point,
market.
you're like, I might as well just get
And
the
it's
whole
like-
thing.
Right.
How about we allow more grows?
Yeah.
So we can have two separate markets. Like I've seen it in Michigan, I've seen it in Canada, I've seen it in other states.
Yep.
You can have top shelf medical. You just have to have better testing for the medical.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little bit higher quality. Maybe you get a little bit higher THC limits, because I understand wanting to limit someone's first time. Maybe they shouldn't have a 4-pack of 500s.
Right.
Yeah.
Because in
Never
the size
used
of a
cannabis
Starburst.
in their life.
Right,
Yeah.
Now you can't split it up, so
Yeah.
now you're biting, not knowing.
Going for the
So,
ride.
Yeah.
I think but that's also on the bud tender. The bud tender should,
Gotta-
the
yeah,
bud
they
tender
gotta
should
guide
not
you.
let you do that.
100%.
Kind of like if you ever did a guided journey trip.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's in the trip sitter's job to keep you safe. It's in the bud tender's job to guide you to what you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might be like high dose. Okay, I give you high dose, but that's what you wanted.
Miss
Don't-
Frizzle,
Yeah.
Magic Scuba.
Don't
You're working almost as a doctor would. You're
Yeah.
listening to the
listening to
symptoms,
the
you're seeing
patient.
what the,
Yeah, I would say what I would not recommend, but what I think would help best, but also give you all of my options.
Mm-hmm.
Being like, I want to educate you on all of it.
Right.
And like he said, sadly, it might not be affordable. Like maybe they need to try all these different things, but then it's hard for them to obtain them all.
And that's for
Or even the
a
knowledge.
patient or even a worker, but
Yeah.
whatever. It's just like, dang,
For all sides.
how do I even have that? Like some people may have never tried concentrates in their life because they can't afford a device or they can't afford the damn
devices.
product itself.
How you know how
Yeah.
expensive the devices are? Unless you want to look sadly like a crackhead.
That,
Yeah.
Like
That's,
shout out,
that's what made me
shout
put
out,
it down.
shout
Yeah.
out to
Real.
my torch guys, because I love using an old.
Like it's cool.
a
It's like a
clean,
scientist at first,
but it can get old. I still have scars on my hands.
Yeah, that's
And it's a thing.
and it can be dangerous.
that's something I can't explain to my niece what I'm doing.
No. It's a little above.
Like
above,
this
like,
is my medicine. Like what?
What? Okay, I see people in the corner doing that.
Yeah, see, for real. Like
And it's like, okay, well, it's different, but having the devices, the devices should cost less,
Yep.
yeah.
or have more accessible devices, or just an education. Like, we used to have patient education people. It didn't go well because the traffic we see, the time you need, there should be better resources.
Yep.
It should be on
Should
the
be more out
product.
into the community.
If you buy a
versus-
product, there should honestly be, instead of like there's the 1 scoop equals 10 milligrams, it should be, how about this is how we suggest consuming it.
Yeah.
This is the effect you will get. It varies based on person. Always have that wiggle room, yes, because I guess you don't want lawsuits. There are things
Yeah.
like that.
Correct.
And some of that comes with a restriction on advertising as well.
How can alcohol have all these fun things? Alcohol can sponsor the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Because like you said, when someone maybe releases a new product, a lot of people are using, social media and phones and digital devices these days. They could use that to educate people as well. Like, hey, this is what this could be used for.
We can't
Things
have
like
banners.
that. But we can't even.
We can't give out stickers.
Man,
We can't give out
it's
T-shirts.
so weird working across from like one of the biggest billboard companies and you can't even use it. Like in the nation,
Michigan
Lamar.
has more signs that mention Ohio in their billboards than we have signs that mention any of our products.
Which is like how is that
That's
let
crazy.
me know or any of us feel that our state really supports our goal? And it's funny, I had a friend, shout out to him, he'll know. literally, I mean, I've dealt with it too, where you tell family or friends like, oh, I'm in the cannabis industry, and they like, oh, get a real job. Like, what? This is a real job. What are you talking about?
This is a real job. This is opportunity to growth. I would love to get into a lab, work with extracts, work with concentrates. I wanted I wanted to work in a lab. I was going to for my degree. I was going to be in environmental science. I wanted that.
Okay.
This is so close to it.
You're still on the way, man. You're on the way.
Oh yeah. But I want to say, like, the industry is growing.
Oh, absolutely.
And allow it to grow. Don't constrict it.
Hey,
Don't constrict it.
Oh yeah.
So,
we're all buds.
So look, if you were to, no matter where you work, after you use your medicine, is there a favorite snack or munchy snack you would like? And then, like, would you be able to combine that with a favorite TV show or movie?
I watch YouTube primarily.
YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube University.
I learned a lot from that too. I do too.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But you gotta be careful. There are those
holes.
There are those holes you can go to, and there's definitely things that are wrong.
That's like
look up universities on
just
YouTube.
like Google. You know, you gotta filter.
Someone can say anything.
Yep.
You gotta filter.
There's a lot of
100%.
fake things out there.
Yeah.
Snack wise, actually, it's medical related. I struggle getting hungry.
Oh fuck.
Okay.
Even with weed. So I use weed. If I don't have weed, I'm not eating.
So what's the terpene that actually?
THCV.
The one that
that's
takes
suppressant.
away the hunger. That's the suppressant,
CBG
right?
helps.
So that you need to stay away from then.
Yeah.
That's why I hate
Interesting.
sativas too.
Yeah. Yep.
But
Okay.
yeah. See, it all kind of fits.
Yeah. It's a puzzle. Damn.
Yes. But no.
But you had to figure that out.
But I have to figure. Yeah, you have to figure it out. Work with yourself.
Yeah.
But I struggle with eating. Cannabis helps immensely, but it's still not quite there.
Okay.
I would say my favorite is anything salty.
Yeah.
But I also like ice cream.
Okay.
Like,
So you like salty and sweet.
Salty and sweet, anything like that. But trying to get real food in me is the main goal.
Nah, that's understandable.
A little too skinny here.
No, it just sucks too, cause like you said earlier, you don't want to make anything so dependent where you can't live without it. But then I know people that, like, even myself, sometimes I struggle, like, to have a strong appetite, you need a little bit of cannabis to, like, boost.
Sadly, yes, there's multiple reasons why that could be, but at the same time, it's just part of, you have to just work with it. But no, for sure. But YouTube
especially
University
with
food.
Chronic illnesses, I feel like that might almost just be a natural, honestly.
Yeah.
Natural
Your
given
body just
struggle,
doesn't want it.
Especially because, we're all busy people. When you're on the go most of the day, sometimes you just
forget. You're like, oh my god, I didn't eat today. Okay, body, how are you still functioning?
But no,
I see normal people being like, I'm so hungry, I need to eat. I'll eat a whole pizza. I'm like, I'm speeding. I am fine.
I've had some times though where I'm just, the stomach, push through the stomach.
They just push through,
But I would say that when I do take, like, I am still on trazodone, sadly, like a lot of dogs, for some sleep help. That's when my appetite comes back. So when my nervous system is suppressed, my appetite comes back.
So when at night sometimes.
So that's why I need those heavy foods.
Yeah, I'm a heavy night eater.
Sadly, I am too. I know it's not the best for you, but nighttime I get munchy. I'm alive.
It's like after the whole day, it's like, oh, you playing catch up. Like, dang, I'll eat this.
Well, I know that. I mean, like, where was this early? What the fuck was my appetite? I was at the dinner table. Just
no, I know. My work. Shout out to my work because they have a packed snack bar, and then we have an amazing coworker who's a baker.
I can testify. Shout out to them.
I want to eat when I get home.
It just landed.
At night I crave going back to work. So I'm like, oh, all those snacks are there. Yeah. And I get to work and I'm like, I can't eat a thing.
That's how it goes.
This is how it goes.
So, like, I don't even gotta ask you this next question because we actually answered it in a lot of ways. There's more than one thing you would change about the cannabis industry.
Oh, so much.
Yeah.
So, at the same time.
No, and we agree with a lot of them. So we can just say, like, as far as your first time using cannabis, like, you kind of mentioned it earlier, I believe you said, like, maybe, 13, 14?
Yeah, 13, 14.
Like, was smoking, correct?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
So
Northern Lights, actually.
Hey,
Homegrown from
know the
a
strength.
friend.
you knew the shit.
Yeah, homegrown from a
Let's
friend's
go.
dad.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it was. Shout out to my boy Steven. I know we
Hey.
don't talk much anymore, but I
Oh.
still love you.
Hey, Steve. Shout out. Hi,
Right.
Steve.
See, still got love for you, Steve.
That's what's up. No.
UNITY.
But no, it was great. Love his old house. We called it the Trap House. It was our hangout spot.
Yeah.
But no, a safe place is where you should experience those things.
That's dope. Yeah.
And that's
I
the
agree.
thing you should do. It prepares you for your life.
Yep.
School is for educating you. There should be some education for when you're when you're not working, when you're not at school. You're free, the freedom of the world.
Yeah.
People call it street, people call it just life.
Yep.
But there's things that will happen.
Yeah.
You're gonna be offered a drink.
Correct.
You're gonna be offered smoking.
Yeah.
Whether it be tobacco, whether it be
And
cannabis.
shit, they teach you in school a lot of
Sick
times
weed.
about alcohol and all
Alcohol.
that kind of stuff.
Their program, a lot of gripes about it. There
Yeah.
should be a real education. Like these if methamphetamine was sitting on this table, it is not dangerous.
Right.
It is not dangerous to anyone.
Just gotta don't touch it.
If you don't consume it,
As
it's
long
not
as
dangerous.
you don't consume it. Yeah.
There's the fear of it all shouldn't be a thing. It's it should be the education of the self.
Yeah.
If you have the desire to do that, why?
Right. For one.
Maybe address that.
Yep.
But at the same time, like that's the person. You should
the
educate
person.
the person.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be the substance that's demonized.
Yeah, because it's not
Man,
the substance
say that
that
again.
glorifies itself.
No, it's
Can I get it? Hey, man.
no. Whether it be cocaine, whether it be cannabis,
And you got to
whether
blame
it
the
be
media a
shrooms,
lot for that.
A
You
lot
got
of
movies and film and all this stuff
Skills.
that's construing
The devil's
this.
lettuce.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out to the costume wearer. No.
I know that started back in early days. You can go back in the history for William Randolph Hearst. All of those reasons, but
Yeah.
it shouldn't be demonized.
Reefer madness.
Yeah,
Shit. I know
word
reefer happiness.
the word marijuana isn't.
Take away
It's actually
sadness.
racist.
Yeah, oh, yeah, it is. That's why I said
actually
Why do you say cannabis?
Yeah,
actually is.
Cannabis
it is
market.
racist.
It literally is.
And that's why it kind of it burns me up when when people say that, and sometimes and no offense, I think you said it earlier, but it's all good because we got conformed to it. But I try to not say black market because, in my opinion,
I like
all
street
walks of
market
life
there.
use
Yeah.
like cannabis, and in some terms like. People say, and I know you don't mean anything, but it's just like the black. It's like no, all walks of life use it, but then it's like, wait, the black market, that's the problem with the cannabis industry. We're the people that's being left out of the market.
We were the original market.
Yeah, and that's what's
We started the
If
market.
you want to go back in time, it was in pharmacies.
Yeah, 100%.
Like this was a substance that was
Yeah.
demonized.
It was in the
Pharmacology.
Yeah, it was in
Before
the
it became demonized. Like
Before
you
it became
said.
demonized, and like the word what I was referring for black market is doing things without regulation.
Yeah, no, I get that. I'm just saying.
But all of that is people taking it in their own hands.
Yeah,
And I think that's a great thing. But at the same time, you don't see bankers taking it into their own hands.
Right.
You won't see a grocery store taking it into their own hands. If this wants to be an industry,
Right.
make it a livable, workable industry.
Yeah.
Correct.
So, those home growers, if you're killing out of the home grow, be able to start. Like, and it shouldn't be
able to
and
get
it shouldn't.
that on
Like,
the shelf.
I've seen like these pop up, like it's in the car delivery. No, think above trapping. Think
Yeah.
above.
Make it legal.
Think
But
above.
allow, yeah.
Think above the people who want to glorify the black market,
Right.
who want that, who want that image,
Right.
who want
Yeah.
to be the next El Chapo. Like, be the.
He said, "I'll just spend
Why not be the
spend my chair on
Why
that."
not be the next
Shit.
Mark Zuckerberg of weed?
No, just
No, but for sure, like, why not be like legally the Wolf of Wall Street? Why not?
that's
Why not grow and make this the kill? Like this can be. You know how many people smoke?
Right. That's why
The tobacco industry, the tobacco and the alcohol industry quake in their shoes for cannabis.
So look,
That's why they don't
what's
want
crazy,
it.
look. What's crazy
That's
is
why they don't want to open up the
what's sad. We got 3 industries. We got tobacco, alcohol, and then you got really almost 4. Cannabis, and then you got hemp. Cannabis and hemp should be together. Even those are separate. But that's what's so messed up about all this war on this plant is like you got 2 different industries. Like there's people with hemp that can sell globally. There's people with cannabis that can't sell.
I can get THCA in the mail to me tomorrow.
Yeah.
Burned. That decarbs.
Shit, at this point, probably off Amazon.
At the same time, like, and who knows? And then the sad, and I love people who are like, oh, I can just go get that. Do you know what's in it?
Right.
Do you know how it was made?
When it was grown.
When it was grown? How old?
No.
Were those plants moldy? What are you getting?
Right.
Are you trusting? Like, if you're coming strapped to the deal, you don't trust the person.
Right.
Yeah, maybe you're prepared all the time, but at the same time, coming into a real store
Right.
where you can return it, where you can report, like,
hey, this shit didn't work. How much else later?
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's literally like, but that's like alcohol. If you bought the bottle, got drunk, and said, "Oh, it gave me a hangover," I didn't really like that feeling. It's like, well, that's on you, buddy.
Right.
Drink responsibly is why they say it every time.
Right.
Consume responsibly should be for cannabis and allow open
Drive
consumption.
sober or get pulled up.
Consume responsibly.
Okay, what is sober though? And that's like that's a big question because I know people who can handle their alcohol. Where I'm like, dude, I believe in you.
Right. We're gonna.
I know you're blowing over, but you can do a breakdance right now.
But your body is just soaking that shit up.
Like whether you're big, I know people who are small who can do that. It's different per person.
Or it burns it off quicker.
Yeah. Or maybe I know some tiny people who are like, you can't drive and you had half your drink. I'm taking it away from you.
So like, I would say you hit on another great topic. Like I think that's why I always believe both sides could go together. Both like the legacy market and legal. It's just like
integrate them.
Yeah, exactly. They need to be integrated and like the people with the money or like just wanting to be business can actually invest into those people to help make their companies better.
And there are experts in this industry.
Even it's like alcohol. Like you could start brewing your own thing and then eventually you get it cleared by maybe I don't know if they use like FDA and with alcohol and stuff like that too, but you get it.
Alcohol.
Yeah, you get it regulated, and then you might be able to go into like maybe a local kind of corner market or something.
like you're a hometown brewer.
Yeah,
you don't have to be the next Anheuser-Busch.
Right.
But at the same time, both of you,
But
craft.
it's like, how else could you try?
But craft can grow and get distributed. And then all of a sudden, now you're a blowing industry. But allow those people to do it. Lawmakers should go to the industry leaders.
Yep.
Who know what to do, because we don't want it to mess up. We don't want, like we always say, we don't want Michigan, but there are great parts to Michigan, no hate. But at the same time, there was lots of faults in the beginning, and there was lots of faults now.
Right.
Just like ours has lots of faults. We've been talking about it all the time.
Yeah.
But listen to them because we know what's going on,
100%.
and we also want the best. It's not like we're going to be like, nah, you can't tax it. Like lawmakers and people who get in that position understand, whether it be you're high enough in a business of cannabis.
Right.
That's why we gave such a good proposal with the first bill until they changed it.
12 plants was a lot. I'm just gonna say, I don't know anyone who's starting growing who would do 12. Those are for the experienced ones. No hate, love them all because they're keeping us alive.
But that opened up the possibility, like he was saying, for that integrated kind of market.
It's just like it's all about in the end people's approach. It's like yes, you can have all of that. There's because I know there's been talks like, oh, there's no room for cannabis culture, but cannabis comes with a lot of culture. If we take the culture from the legacy market and along with the legal market, combine them, and then help like the people that are building brands in that legal legacy market and like they actually create like not only just a brand but a product that they stick with, and then collab with somebody else to bring it to the legal market. That's the best way to do it, and then everybody wins, everybody eats. Since you can't market right now, you market with them, and they work together that way. And it's collaboration. That's what cannabis really does for everybody. A lot of body. Yeah, a lot of body. A lot of body.
No, but like for everybody, like, and I think like
a lot of people.
There you go.
It brings people together.
Yeah.
And even if you're alone, it brings you with your thoughts.
Exactly.
So like
reflection.
It makes you react,
and it helps you create different thoughts than what you would normally think.
Yeah. And I think for a lot of people, they just live in that, but that's great. That's what they need. You might be one of them, but
hell yeah. Nah, well, shit, man. What about let's keep it rolling. What about one of your craziest or funniest moments, like ever using cannabis? Like, is there something like a story that just pops out that you just that you always think of, or it's just some that you can't ever?
Yeah, and it could be crazy as in like good something.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be bad. But just curious if you've ever had anything like
we try to make a gravity. We've made multiple gravity bongs. I have a great story about we were at an Airbnb, and there was nothing to smoke out of, so we went to an auto shop, grabbed a socket, made a gravity bong out of their blender, and then had to really wash that blender because that blender stunk.
A socket and made it, damn.
Oh yeah. We also tried to make a hookah.
Okay.
With little tubes and a Gatorade bottle. We just got all creative back in the day.
It leads to engineering.
Yeah.
Who knew you could get high and become an engineer? Cannoneer.
A cannoneer?
A lot of gravity bongs back in the day. Apple. Well, yeah. We used to do things for fun.
Actually, though, that leads into the next part, because
I was just thinking
I feel like cannabis. Would you say cannabis has
helps with creativity?
Helps you with your creativity, become more of a. You already seem very techy, but also mechanically skilled, I guess.
Yeah. I would say for me, I use it pretty much a lot, so it's not going to be much more for the creativity. It's much more for just function.
Yeah.
Okay.
But at the same time,
I love that because I like to use the term of functional, like functional consumer, or functional user.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
My stomach out here trying to function.
Right.
But
that's a good sign.
I also don't use those sativas, so I don't also get those creative juices like that. I remember back in college when I wasn't as sick.
Okay.
It would be great. I remember chugging a Red Bull, having my one hitter back when I had a tolerance that I wish I had now, because man, I could afford it.
Not the Red Bull.
I know, Red Bull, it was already like 10:30, and I was like, okay, I have a 5-page essay to write tonight, let's go. And cannabis helps so much.
Right.
Cannabis helps so much. I could just type and go.
Yep.
And it would flow. I think nowadays it helps me be present.
Do you have like any hobbies or I guess extracurriculars that you do for fun nowadays? Like gaming?
Get back into that. No, I pretty much gave up gaming. Much to the shame, my disappointment of my friends. They missed their number 3 or 4.
I feel you there.
But no, that would just mess with my head too much.
True.
Yeah, so I was really cut out things. I would say, okay. It's mostly, I don't know, yeah.
Okay.
Well, how long have you been in your business, or how do you say business? Like you're in this area in the cannabis is?
I think I'll be going on.
Your anniversary.
Yeah. So I was at another dispensary prior to this one.
Yep.
And that was I almost want to say, I was like a week away from my 90 days.
Okay.
And that's why also it helped that they got rid of me, because they needed to lay off a bunch of people to save some money.
Oh shoot! I'm sorry.
Was it really only that long?
Yeah.
I thought you.
I know it's not like.
I thought you were going to say 2 years.
Yeah.
No, I know.
I was gonna say at least like I thought 4
A year.
months, maybe 5 months or something. But
I
guess it was.
It seemed like it was
Yeah,
longer.
I didn't get like.
Dang, man. Yeah, it felt so. Yeah, it's crazy.
But then besides that, I then had a little interim, and then I got picked up here, and then I am 2 months past my 90 days.
Shout
here.
out to the new guys.
Hey.
Oh yeah, I love these.
Shout out to the new
Oh my
guys.
god, never have I felt like, oh my god, I don't need to have anxiety going to work.
Oh, that's awesome.
Maybe I have to wake up
Enjoy it.
early.
Enjoy it, but so you sound like you just enjoy going to work. Which
Oh yeah, when it can be fun to be at work is a blessing.
Right.
Where
And that's
all
all you
roads
should
lead.
do. Yep, we're all roads lead. It definitely helps.
We're all so like, well, obviously you mentioned
Still have your
cannabis.
handprints on the wall.
That's funny.
I forgot about that. That's awesome.
Obviously, cannabis helps with your quality of life and illness, but would you say that it like how else or how much is it mean to you when you are able to like help others or see? I mean, you spoke on it earlier, but just like we can finish with that in the sense of it's rewarding to
Like how meaningful.
guide, because it seems like you're not just one of those people that like, all right, I'm in the industry, whatever, like I'm selling people weed, blah blah blah. You're
I
actually
don't
like
want the most sales.
Yeah.
right, but
Like I've said that to bosses before, where like I feel icky pushing product.
Yeah, like my performance for this shouldn't be based off of
Should
how
not be
much
based on sales.
Yeah.
Watch me.
How I'm interacting with
Like
the patient.
I'm gonna be interacting. I want to educate. I'm gonna judge it based off the patient. Some
Right.
people want in and out, and I will
Read
do
your
that
room.
for you.
Right.
But if they want me to work, I'll work. I'll work through the menu with you. I'll talk to you about it. Like it's.
Full
I
consultation.
want you to view this as a medicine as I do,
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of how I feel and want to treat every interaction.
yeah.
Yeah. That's how it should be, man.
Cause
just-
whether you want to use it for fun, you're using it for fun for a reason.
Right.
You want to let off steam. You don't go out just to go out. You go out for a reason.
Yeah.
Like you were saying earlier, you're trying to chase some type of high or chase some type of feeling.
And then like no shame in it. And I think that's the stigma for all of it.
Yeah.
Whether it be like it should always be in control. That's the one thing. But there should be no stigma for it.
Yeah.
If you're an adult human being,
Right.
you should be in control of your actions at all times.
Especially if you look at some other things that are normalized in the world. It's
Oh.
like, why is there so much stigma on this plant?
Correct.
When there's so many more demons you could go after.
Exactly. Like, I mean, even alcohol. I mean, it's like not to go after it because alcohol has had its wars and trials and
Places. Yeah.
But it's like this is really just freely more legal.
This is literally
like,
a poison.
Shit, I was at the game earlier and you just like
It's
see like,
literally
people were
poison.
tailgating hours before and it's like just drinking, shit that's not biologically necessarily great for you, but and it just alters your I don't know. I just feel like alcohol.
I feel like it doesn't alter your mind, it turns off your mind.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It alters your behaviors because you're just like some people don't
Like you can
lose
look at them and be
control.
like, gone.
Yeah,
Like, you
But I
drink
don't
enough
feel-
alcohol, you gotta get your stomach pumped and all types
You
of
will
stuff.
die.
you can.
Die.
Literally
You
die.
can. I've had a severe sickle cell crisis from drink, in younger college days, not
Yeah.
knowing like, hey,
Yep.
well, turn up. And then, I'm in the
Inflammation all over and
Better for 2 days.
Yeah.
nauseous and
Being
all
like,
types
oh, my
of
friends
shit.
are shaking it off.
Right,
It's like,
yeah.
okay, there's difference, and everybody's different.
Yeah.
And I think
Exactly.
writing laws is hard, and I think making rules is hard because you have to apply it to the public, and that's a
Right.
generalization.
Yep.
But at the same time, you should always take in consideration
You gotta consider variables.
the variables of each person.
Correct. And
Yeah.
that's where we need to, really, we can end on this note and make sure we highlight it. It might even be the name of the episode. We need specialized medicine, or a specialized approach to this medicine. There was even another term I had too that you said, but I'm drawing a blank. I'm gonna have to rewatch it and figure it out because no, it's important.
It said, hold on, we'll check the review.
You're in
Call Jamie.
Flag on the plane.
no. But no, well, you know, we appreciate you again, Thomas, for taking the time to come join us on our platform.
Yes, indeed.
You shared some great insight and information. Happy to get this out to the
I
public.
feel like I've talked a lot. That's about it.
Oh no, I mean this is
That
we
is
wanted
why
you to.
we
This
have
is- This is your opportunity to do it, and I feel like people hopefully better listen in, watch, or support, subscribe. Make sure you follow us.
Yeah, for sure.
If you got any social medias you want to shout out,
Please don't. Please don't, unless I know you.
well, you can shout out anybody struggling with the Lyme disease.
Yeah, Lyme disease. Honestly, any chronic illness.
Yeah.
You're not alone.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then ending it on your own is never an option.
Yeah. That's
a big one.
That's a
You
huge.
can always find help.
Yep.
You can always find help.
And just speak up. Use your voice. Easier said than done, but communicate with people around you, and you might be able to definitely find somebody.
And if the people around you aren't, find people.
Yeah, there
will be
then
people.
find your people.
There will be people.
What does it say?
Online.
Find your tribe. Find your support
Find your
system.
support system. Everybody needs it.
Yeah, and just remember, we're all just buds,
And we're just growing.
I solemnly swear that I am up to no good.
Bitch. Sunny D and TOTOE. Noticeably, I've been noticing all these lame niggas on the whole street. Go to speed, too fast, you'll end up swerving in your lane. Doubt it all you want, I'll still leave you in the worst way. While in first place, smile kisses on the trophy. Just a couple things I'm hoping. All these lame niggas didn't know me. Regrets, regret to the point. It's kind of humorous, pondering for days. But for me, I know I do this shit, making tracks, laying facts. You niggas must be losing it. That shit is whack. Sounds like trash. Swear to God, y'all full of it. Possibly inaccurate. There goes that assuming shit. Let me quote.